In this video, I'm going to share my solution of day 8 of Advent of Code, which I've used Excel and VBA to do. Check out my description for more information about Advent of Code and what it's all about. But I'm going to jump straight in now to the problem. This problem gave us a string of numbers which we needed to decode to find an image. We were told the width and the height of the image, and we were told that actually there were multiple layers. So in this example, if we had a 3x2 image and this was the string of numbers we were given, that actually becomes 2 layers of 3x2. The first question was, what is the number of 1 digit multiplied by the number of 2 digits for the layer that contains the fewest 0 digits? The way I went about this in Excel was to first just put some of the information into a spreadsheet. So this was my input in A1. So this is the string of numbers that we need to decode. I counted how long that string was, and it's 15,000 characters, and I have been told that the width is 25 pixels and the height is 6. So I took the total number of pixels and divided the length by that number, and so it gave me 100. So what I know is that there are 100 layers in this input. So I just wanted to break this number into 100 separate strings which contain each layer. So we have 100 layers. Let's indicate that here, all the way down to 100. And I marked the starting point here, so we know there's 150 digits in each layer, because 25 times 6 is 150. So the starting point for the first layer will be character 1, and then the second layer will start at point 151. So I've just marked the starting points here to use in a formula. And this column here, column E, gives me the characters, the 150 character long string for that layer. So I've just said, take the input, start at my starting point and give me 150 characters. And that will give me the unique code for each layer. And finally, I have counted how many zeros are in there, because the problem asks us to find the layer with the least zeros, using this formula here. Then I've counted how many ones there are and how many twos, because once we found the layer with the fewest zeros, we need to output the number of ones times the number of twos. So let's just put that down. And then all I had to do here was sort by column F to get the smallest 0 count, and then output the number in here. And that gave me the answer to problem 1. And that was without using any VBA code. The second part of the puzzle asks us to actually create the image. And we get a bit more information. So basically we're told that for each layer, which are put on top of each other, the pixel is either transparent, black or white. And the idea is you have to look at the layers and find the first non-transparent value and then put that into your final image. So back to the spreadsheet. So what that means is here, if we look at the first character, so this would be the top left pixel of layer 1 is 2. So that's transparent. So we need to go to layer 2. And that's also 2. So you keep going down this list until you find something that is not 2, and then you put that number into your picture. And then we move on to the next character and do the same for this pixel, and so on. And I did use VBA to solve this part of the problem, and as you can see, it's quite a small amount of code. There are quite a few variables here which I use to work my way through each pixel. So I've just got this grid here. It's 25 long and 6 tall, and each of these are a pixel. So imagine this is pixel 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, all the way up to 25. And then we go to the next row, and that will be 26, 27, and so on. So what we have is H, and H is going from 1 to 150, which is the total number of pixels, and it's stepping through 25 at a time. So we're going to start at point 1, and then we're going to move to point 26. And that basically tells us which row we are on. W goes from 0 to 24, and I'm going to add this onto H to get the exact location of the pixel we're looking at. So if we are on row 2, H is going to be 26. So this cell that we're currently on is 26 plus 0. This is 26 plus 1, or 27. 26 plus 2, and so on. Next we have L. And L is going to represent the layers. And I've just made it go from 2 to 101 because that is the rows that represent the layers. And we can use that to figure out where which layer has the first non-transparent pixel. So you can imagine if we are on H equals 26, W equals 1, we're actually on pixel 27, and now we're going to work through each layer, checking the 27th character, and we're going to keep going down until we find a character that does not equal 2. As soon as we find that, we put it in, because the 2's represent transparency, and so you can't see anything until we find a 0 or a 1. And what I've done is I've given this a bit of conditional formatting so that once we've plotted all the zeros and all the ones, we will see the image, and the image is going to contain a number of characters which gives us our answer. So let me run that code. There we go. There is the answer to the input that I was given. And that is my solution to day 8 of Advent of Code. Please do check out the website. It's really good fun and helps you practice your coding. If you want a copy of any of my spreadsheets, please feel free to drop me an email and I will happily send it over to you. Thanks for watching.